The average age of successful entrepreneurs is 42 to 45 years old. It might not be business number one or two or 10 that succeeds. Put your head down and just keep hustling. Number two, I'm 22 and I'm not near my goal of being worth 25 million by 25. I feel like I'm failing. I don't know where these numbers come from exactly, but I've heard some version of this in the past. I got to be worth this much money by 30 to feel successful, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Being in the 1% is an awesome thing. Most people don't get there by the time they're 30. That's just the reality of it. The first thing I want you to ask is, if you do have this belief about yourself that you have to have that much money by that age, where is that coming from? And what I often find is that it's being formed by this belief of what it means to be a man or woman, what success needs to look like, and what age you have to get there, which is formed by the algorithms that you're seeing. Especially in the US right now, it's kind of like winning the lottery. People want you to believe that every other business person around you is being successful. The reality is that the system needs more people starting businesses. We have a consumer economy, so we need more entrepreneurs creating more businesses so that people consume more stuff. If you study economics at all, you'll realize that if that ever broke down, the entire system would break. In order to get people to create more things, we have to make you believe that you will be successful at it. And then what happens is we take those outliers, especially the young ones, and we put them in your face. And you start to believe that every single person that invests in crypto is a millionaire. What the reality is, if you look at the data, is that the average age of successful entrepreneurs is 42 to 45 years old. All right. And that's especially true when it comes to high growth startups. And look, you can look that up for yourself, but that's backed by the Harvard Business Review and MIT data. That is the reality. So if the reality is that the average age, by the way, the average, meaning that a bunch of people get it after 45. The key is that you're pursuing something that you really care about and start going after it. But if you're under 30 and you haven't made it, you are just in line with every single other person. Most success just comes later, and it takes decades, not years, to get it. What I would say to you is, if you're 22 to 25 and you're starting to feel you're not succeeding because you're not worth the money you thought you'd be worth, put your head down and just keep hustling. Keep working at it. It might not be business number one or two or 10 that succeeds. But if you give up, you're definitely going to fail. The first time that I felt like I was really succeeding at a business, I was 26, doing $100,000 a month. 6 months later, I was kicked out of my company and I had to restart all over again, working for someone else. Your life's just not going to go the way that you thought it was going to go. But the important thing is that you put your head down and start getting after something that you're really passionate about. Because if you don't give a shit about it, you won't have the resiliency to see it through as the market starts to shift. Last thing I'll say before I move on, if you know what you want to build right now and you're in that 22 to 25 year range, then go build it. Go build it, get after the hustle. If you don't know what you're passionate about and what you should be building, then just go learn. Go work for other people, try different industries, figure out what you're into. You want to find your ikigai of what you think you can be one of the best in the world at, and then focus on that. It's one of the hardest things we can do, is focus on what we are really good at and ignore the other things that we want to pursue instead. So put your head down, learn, get really passionate about something, and then see what comes out of that. And hey, maybe it's not 25 million, maybe it's 10, but I bet if at like 40, you had 10 million in the bank, you'd be pretty happy about it.